The medic wrapped the cuff around his arm. It should have been a strong, steady beat, a testament to the runner's health and endurance. But the screen read, "Unable to detect pulse." He tried again. Nothing. Not a weak pulse, no pulse. And yet the runner was talking, alert, even smiling. How could this be? How can someone run marathons without a detectable heartbeat? Hi, I'm the host, and this is a life-threatening medical mystery. Then everything went black. He woke up moments later with paramedics kneeling over him. The inflammation eventually leads to scarring and plaque buildup, which reduces blood flow. The word pulse in Latin means to feel, so it makes sense that Takayasu arteritis is known as the pulseless disease. It typically affects young adults, mostly women between the ages of 20 and 40, but anyone can get it. Some patients experience vague symptoms like fatigue, lightheadedness, or arm weakness. Others don't experience any symptoms at all. Then one day, a major vessel closes, and the body is dealt a near-deadly hand. They checked his vitals and struggled to find a pulse. Smaller blood vessels branching off the aorta and connecting to the circulatory system around his arms carried blood around the blockage, so that he didn't die. This is the same mechanism that allows some people to live with only one coronary artery. By rerouting blood around blockages, the body can compensate for a surprisingly large amount of damage. But this compensation comes at a cost. Blood flow to the extremities is reduced, which means vital organs get less oxygen and nutrients. Also, the heart has to work harder, which means it beats faster. Over time, this added strain can lead to heart failure. When they finally reached the ER, doctors thought he'd had a circulatory collapse. But after performing full-body angiography, they saw something chilling. He's also at risk for other conditions like coronary artery disease. But thanks to early intervention, he's able to manage his symptoms and continue doing what he loves most, running. Daniel's major upper body arteries, including the aorta and its branches, were severely narrowed. Blood was flowing to his arms, just not through the usual routes. It was flowing through smaller backup vessels that had developed over years to compensate for the blockages. In other words, Daniel was running on fumes. Our patient today is a fictional character. We'll call him Daniel. He's a 33-year-old full-time architect and part-time marathoner who's been running ultra-marathons for over a decade. He trains several hours every day and has never missed a race. Daniel had always been disciplined, competitive, and lean. To him, running wasn't just a hobby, it was his escape. He had a demanding career and a hectic personal life. But when he ran, he was invincible. That is, until one routine physical almost ended his life. During a checkup for an upcoming ultramarathon, his doctor couldn't find a pulse in either wrist. But Daniel felt fine. He didn't feel dizzy, weak, or fatigued. When the nurse put the BP machine on his arm, it repeatedly gave error messages. So she switched to a manual cuff and still got nothing. His blood pressure was so low, it was unreadable. "This must be a mistake," he joked, half expecting a punchline. But there was none. Over the next few weeks, Daniel underwent a battery of tests. Vascular scans showed no radial or brachial pulses on either arm. But his heart rate on EKG was perfect, and blood flow to his legs and brain was normal. Doctors considered many diagnoses: mechanical error, scar tissue from years of training, nerve damage. One specialist even asked, "Are you sure you're not a medical miracle or a ghost?" Daniel wasn't much of a hypochondriac, but now fear was setting in. What if he suffered a heart attack or stroke while running? Would he even know it, or would he simply collapse without a trace? Then one morning, after a long run, he tied his shoes. He was diagnosed with Takayasu arteritis, an extremely rare autoimmune condition that causes inflammation and narrowing of the large arteries, especially the aorta and its branches. In Daniel's case, his subclavian and brachial arteries had slowly closed off over the years, but his body had developed collateral circulation. Now Daniel knows he has to take anti-inflammatories daily for the rest of his life. You can be strong, you can be fast, but when your heart is running against itself, even the finish line doesn't guarantee safety. For more chilling medical mysteries each week, stay tuned.